Don't worry. I promise you that this is not going to be a May the 4th be with you video. But you should be thankful, because it could have been. It could have been. Readers, Captain America Civil War comes out in theaters Friday for us here in the States. And in honor of that release, I've decided to dedicate this segment of Readus Relives on my top favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that have been released thus far. So let's get right down to it, starting with number 5, Thor. Now, given the fact that Thor is one of my favorite superheroes out of the ones that have been currently introduced in the MCU, you might be thinking to yourself, but Lauren, why is the movie for one of your favorite superheroes one of your least favorites? What the fuck happened? And the answer to that is story. Now I have to clarify because Kenneth Branagh did a hell of a job directing the movie. One of the people in charge of the story, however, was comic book writer J. Michael Straczynski, who I can't stand. You see, over the course of his career in writing comic books, J. Michael Straczynski has a habit of depowering superheroes just so that he can feel comfortable writing for them. It's a trait that another writer I don't care for, Brian Michael Bendis, also kind of shares. And if you want an example of something that J. Michael Straczynski has written, he's the one who had Peter Parker sell his marriage to Mephisto in order to save the life of Aunt May, thus undoing at least 15 to 20 years of character development that Spider-Man has achieved. When I think of quintessential Thor, I think of Jason Aaron or Walter Simonson. And whereas I understand that the point of the first Thor movie was to be a fish out of water movie / I have to regain my honor through humility movie, I feel that it was done in a way that kind of degraded Thor's character a bit, to the ability where it kind of impacted his ability to develop as a character slower than the other members of the MCU so far. Which is pretty much why Thor: The Dark World didn't even make it on this list. That's not even a spoiler for the rest of the video. Just know that that fucking movie didn't make it on this list. Number 4, Iron Man 3. Now readers, this is probably something you do not want to hear, but out of the 3 Iron Man movies, Iron Man 3 is my favorite one. Calm down, let me explain! I feel that Iron Man 3 did the best job of exploring Tony's psyche than the first 2. It did a better job of exploring how he thinks outside of mechanics and shit, how he deals with pride, how he deals with humility, how he deals with people and loved ones, how he truly tackles obstacles when everything is taken away from him and he only has to rely on his mind. So one could say that Iron Man 3 did what Thor was trying to do, but it ended up being a better movie because they treated Iron Man with a smidgen more respect than they did with Thor. At least that's how I feel about it. Number 3, the first Avengers movie. Now the first Avengers movie worked for me in a few ways. Number 1, continuity, and number 2, team dynamics. I don't say story because there were a lot of creative decisions that Joss Whedon made that I didn't really agree with, which is why Age of Ultron isn't on this list, spoiler alert. But given the fact that this is the very first ensemble piece that I have seen that story-wise connects to multiple other movies that I have seen beforehand, and it succeeded in properly telling a story that was able to properly use all of these individual plot threads from these different movies, I was impressed. Number 2, Captain America, the First Avenger. I was pleasantly surprised with this movie. As a fan of The Rocketeer, I was appreciative of the director who came on board, and as a fan of the Indiana Jones series, I was appreciative of both the genre and the time set. Seeing Captain America fight Nazis, Hydra, actually helped me feel nostalgia over The Rocketeer and the Indiana Jones series, which was initially what I went into the theater expecting to see, because I had no knowledge of Captain America beforehand. With The First Avenger, it was the case of the right director, the right script, the right story, which made me immediately place this as my number 2. So my number 1, Captain America, the Winter Soldier. See, I feel like I don't need to explain myself, but I'm gonna do it anyway. One of the things that Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and Iron Man 3 share, in my opinion, is that you can make a serious comic book movie and still have it be fun. Out of all the Phase 2 movies of the MCU, I feel like the only ones that were supposed to be taken seriously because it took itself seriously was Iron Man 3 and The Winter Soldier. But with Captain America: The Winter Soldier, everything just meshed right. The writers, those who initially came up with the story, the writers of the script, the Russo brothers directing, the tone of the movie, the plot twist, how the characters treated the situation over the course of the movie, I thought was beautifully handled. If I feel like watching something good yet goofy, I'll throw on Guardians of the Galaxy. If I feel like watching something riddled in nothing but disappointment, I'll throw on Thor: The Dark World. But if I feel like watching something that Marvel Studios have put in time, effort, and dedication into in order for it to actually be good, along with the cast and crew as well, I will watch Captain America: The Winter Soldier any day of the week. So here's me hoping that they treat Captain America: Civil War with just as much respect. You know, and then wish and hope and pray that one day they treat Thor the same way as well. Though I'm not holding my breath. But readers, your homework assignment for the day. Write in the comment section below your favorite MCU movie. And if you feel like you need to give a reason why, go on and do it. I'm not stopping you. I'm actually looking forward to it. But I'll tell you now, if you put down Thor: The Dark World, you better have a very good reason. A very good reason. Anyways, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.